This Clash Mini update is a mixed bag. Some features are great, some bad, but the rest make the game so frustrating and unfair that it just reverses the other amazing changes this update, such as Frenzy mode. It tried to fix the unfairness of tiebreaker mode, but unfortunately, I think this is even worse. To understand the scale of this problem, let's look at how Frenzy actually works. First, it gives Mini 3 times the attack speed. That benefits high attack minis so disproportionately, like the Royal Ghost and Dark Goblin, because it stretches the attack speed difference between the slow and the fast attackers, especially the Magic Archer with the 2nd star, because plus 50%. That is a way higher value in Frenzy because his attack speed is already 3 times as fast, which is why everyone is complaining about the Magic Archer in Frenzy and just how magical he is. That's not all. Frenzy also decreases control and defense effect duration by 66%. This itself isn't the issue, in fact I really like this, but it's that this doesn't apply to the effect that started before Frenzy, but still takes place after Frenzy. For example, an E-Wish with a 2nd star supers you half a second before Frenzy, that'll get you stunned for a whole 3 seconds after Frenzy, and obviously that'll give your enemy a massive advantage because they have more time to attack you. The decreased duration was meant to help that, but that doesn't apply to these situations, so now it all depends on who has the lucky timing, and that's just a bit unfair. Another problem that's so easy to miss is that, yes, everything is sped up in Frenzy, but not the super animations. E-Wish will still take his time to wave his hand up to warm up, and Wavemaster literally has time to say a prayer before he supers, so that benefits carry minis with no supers disproportionately, because they don't have to waste the time saying, "May the Clash Mini gods bless me with this deadly super, and forgive me for killing all these innocent minis." While we're at it, the Frenzy sound effect is so annoying. The bell still rings when you mute your game. It's just unbelievable. And the fact that this lasts for a whole 10 seconds just exacerbates the problem. Frenzy was meant to break ties, right? To settle the rounds that seem to go forever. So why does it come in so early? I think we need only 5 seconds of Frenzy instead of 10. Just let the situation play out for a bit longer until all hell breaks loose. But this is nothing compared to the last mistakes. I'll just tell you about it later. But next is remodels. I guess this is more subjective, but the vast majority agrees that the new remodels are a step down. The first remodel we saw was the Spirit Goblin. It's worse, but not by far, so I don't want to focus on that. I'd say the new Buccaneer skin isn't bad at all, but the Candy Elf. Oh, what did they do to you, precious? His shirt and, oh my god, the spiral hat, it just makes him look so silly. And that's not all. Battle Hero now looks tan, and Swordsman looks like he's a baby, and it just doesn't work because what baby holds a big living fish like that, and he has grass in their mouth. The new Barbarian model looks like he's made by someone who just started using Blender, but I'll give credit where credit is due. The new Dark Goblin skin is a very nice upgrade, and this is what Frame had to say about it.
We want them to be minis, we want them to be toys, okay? I know some of the renders in the game, they don't look perfect yet, but give us some time and they will all look very coherent and they will look much more like toys and much cuter.
Okay, fair enough. Then I'll stop ranting about this and we'll come back to it in the next update review video. But wait, one more thing. Wait, no, I don't even want to talk about the new loading screen. It's just too depressing, never mind. Before I absolutely bash on this update again, I think the movement is genuinely a huge step forward to global, except in Rumble. Yep, it's time for bashing again. Now that Rumble is draft, no movement just doesn't work because you're playing against 5 people. No movement is great in duels because it makes placements predictable, so you can be more consistent and effective with your counters. But that's just out of the window when there are 5 people with different minis involved. Your setup needs to deal with this guy who plays a Clash deck, but also this other guy who throws his swordsman with the Wavemaster, but then this guy who uses the Magic Archer, and the worst thing is that it could be anything because people aren't crafting decks based on the synergies. In duels, you can predict what the minis people use by seeing their hero. If they use a Wave Master, they're most likely playing it with the Swordsman, right? That doesn't work here because draft is random, so someone could throw the most random thing, and just cause that, you lose all your rounds versus that guy. So it makes Rumble so unfair with no movement, and I think they need to address it right away. Next is the new quest system. Specifically, how past tokens are distributed. Can you imagine that these used to be carrots? The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days.
People complain that the warden takes too long to reach because he's at tier 49, and you need a whopping 50 past tokens for each tier, so you need 1,950 pass tokens to get the Warden without the Mini Pass Plus or Gemming. I'm actually fine with a bit of grind to get the Grand Warden because that can serve as motivation, so I am actually fine about that. But my problem is that daily quests give you 3 tokens each, weekly quests give you 10 tokens each, but guess how many season quests give you? Is it A, 1, B, 2, or C, 50? The answer is C, 50. I know, very shocking. And remember, season quests don't go away until the season is finished. Well, this gives season quests way too much power. Someone could leave the game for 2 weeks, come back and get a similar tier by just completing the season quests. That doesn't motivate people to play daily. So what I do is actually distribute the pass tokens differently. Give us 30 pass tokens per season quest, but to compensate, 5 tokens for each daily quest and 12 tokens for each weekly quest. So weekly quests aren't actually that weak. Speaking of season quests, here's a mini mistake. Quests like this, win 5 games with Battle Healer, just shouldn't exist because it limits on what you play. They understand this problem, which is why they removed it a few updates ago, so I don't know why they're bringing it back. It sucks even more though, because you can't reroll a season quest, and it gives you so many pass tokens. Not to mention, Battle Healer is a tier mini. Before I tell you the devastating last mistake that made me win and lose games in the most unfair way, I don't want to send the wrong message here with this video. This, fundamentally, is a great update. I love the new troops, the new events, replays, but one thing that's such a shame is how tiles work. Specifically the second tile in round 3. I think this Reddit post sums up the problem. This is also a big problem on the other tiles that can harm you, like the Devil's Deal, Curse, and Transform. It just sucks when you have this master plan on countering the enemy, but the second tile just completely ruins your setup, especially when the tile is placed in a way that actually benefits the enemy, where that just feels so unfair. But especially on the Transform tile. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun. It is genuinely so fun. I love seeing what my 3-star 4 Elixir mini my hero turns into every round, but it's not hard to see the problem here. It's completely random. Whether you win or lose the round depends on what mini pops up, but I actually don't want this tile gone necessarily. I just want it to go to events. It's perfect there. One new tile will spawn every round, but just get it out of duels, or for the very least, don't change the minis after each round. Cause now in round 1 you could get a Magic Archer, round 2 could be an Evis, round 3 could be a Royal Ghost. At the very least, keep it the same mini, keep it Magic Archer for all the rounds. So at least the enemy has some consistency to counter it, instead of just hoping that the Transform tile doesn't benefit them. Since you made it so far, here's one bonus mistake. The meta. Now this isn't groundbreaking, but I do feel like some minis are too OP, and I shared my thoughts on every mini in this mini tier list video. Check it out.